Hello, I'm Lee. If you're new here, welcome. And today we're going to be talking about traveling. Specifically, we're going to be talking about London, England, and why you should go there. So I recently went on an amazing trip to Europe. I love Europe so much. I'm American. I live in South Korea, and I have lived in South Korea for 9 years, but Europe holds a special place in my heart. Just the history, the culture, the food, everything is exquisite in Europe, in my opinion. And among all the gorgeous cities I've seen in Europe, London is the one I want to recommend to you today. London is just so enjoyable and so amazing. You gotta go, guys. So why is London the best? Let me tell you. One reason is transportation. The subway system is really good. You go, you get something called an Oyster card. You use your Oyster card everywhere. The subway takes you where you want to go. But also, even though London is absolutely huge, I find that the city is pretty walkable for me. Might be different for you, but I like walking. And the main attractions of London are all pretty much in the center. So for me, a lot of times on my trip, I would wake up in the morning and realize, oh, my destination is within 1 hour's walk, and I wouldn't even have to take the subway. But it is an excellent option when you're just a little bit tired, and I love the convenience and the ease of travel there. The biggest reason for me, I think, would have to be West End. As a former theater kid, as a former theater major, as someone who loves acting, there is just something about going to a real show. And West End shows are cheaper than Broadway shows, still can cost a pretty penny, but it is the most amazing place. You can go every night if you want to. There are 39 theaters in London's West End, and you can go see classic plays, you can see modern plays, you can see musicals. They've got everything. While I was there, I was blown away by the quality. I mean, of course it's high quality, it's West End, but they elevate it to a level of art. Oh, or even, I would go so far as to say magic. If you're into the cultural side, you're going to do West End. If you're concerned with practicalities, you're going to enjoy the transportation. And if you want food, surprisingly, there are so many great things to eat in London. And if you want to eat cheaply, there are a lot of little grocery stores. But if you're ready for something very special, there are also many Michelin-starred restaurants. The thing I personally recommend, well, two things. You have to have fish and chips. That's fried fish and French fries to my Americans. And this is a classic for a reason. You've got to go into like a really dark little pub where the lights are just so dim you can barely see the food. And you have to get the tartar sauce, and you have to get little green English peas and eat your fish and chips and just think to yourself how good life is. Bonus points if it's a cold day. Nothing warms you up like fish and chips on a chilly morning. The next thing you absolutely must have is afternoon tea. So afternoon tea is usually going to be a series of little sandwiches and, little snacks, and also a series of little sweets and cakes. Naturally, comes with a big pot of tea, and you have the option to add some cocktails, some additional food if you want to. And afternoon tea is going to be about 65 British pounds at some of the nicer establishments. So that is very expensive, but remember, you are paying for the experience. You get to sit in a beautiful place for 2 hours and enjoy your tea and enjoy the atmosphere. So my afternoon tea experience was in Harrods of London. You might know Harrods, the department store. So they have a tea room, and so for 2 hours I listened to live music played on a piano, and I ate these perfect little sandwiches and these amazing little chocolates. I recommend this to anybody. The experience of afternoon tea is so elevated and so exquisite. You need to experience it once in life. It's not unlike going to church. We've got our food, we've got our culture. What else is great about London? I think the history is big for me. There's so much history there, dating back to the Roman times, and then you've got all the kings and queens of England leading up to it. You can go on little walking tours. Remind me later to do a video on the worst walking tour I've ever had. Terrifying. And you can learn all of the deep history of London. Another thing about London is the tie-ins with literature and also with movies. You can't walk anywhere in London very long without seeing a place where a famous movie was filmed, or a famous author lived, or something that in some way would remind you of a great book or movie. There's platform 9 3/4 from Harry Potter at King's Cross Station. You've got the Globe Theatre, where Shakespeare's plays were performed. Just goes on and on, these amazing literary and film references. You're in this city that has such a rich culture and history, and pretty nice food, and great sightseeing, and convenient transportation. Guys, you gotta go to London. And if you go, take me with you. I gotta go again. So these have been my reasons for you to visit London. I'm gonna have some more travel videos coming up dealing with solo female travel, how to choose a hostel, and more. So stay tuned and hit subscribe to get more videos.